Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to the channel. I am quite busy this time of the year, surprisingly enough, and I haven't been able to post a video every week as I intended. But anyway, it is what it is, and things are what they are. But today, I just wanted to share some thoughts with you about a topic that we were discussing on the page 2 in forums about Booktube Cliques. Are there Booktube Cliques? Is Booktube Clicky? And I guess that the short answer is yes. It is. It just is. And the reason for that being, based on my own experience, that maybe different people start channels for different reasons. I started the channel because I've got very few or no one around that I can talk about fantasy books, comics, that sort of thing. So the channel allows me to interact with people on the things that I enjoy. Now, naturally, you're going to find people that you click, you connect, and you enjoy talking to. And I think it's a natural part of anyone that has got a YouTube channel that eventually gets to a certain size. You make connections with people. So regular guests on my channel, guests slash Booktube friends, Susana Imaginario, Ian from B&B Books, Livia J. Elliott has regularly invited me over to her podcast. On the page 2 in forums, there's a bunch of us, so it can be a bit of a click. Now, is that an issue? I don't think that's an issue. I don't think that is a problem. And if someone has a problem with it, the problem is with them, not with me as a community, and let me elaborate on that. So I can look at other booktubers, right? People that, there are little groups, there are little pockets of people that seem to always talk to each other, be in each other's channels, and I can look at them and go, that's great. There's people having these great conversations. Like, I wish I was part of that group, but I am not, and like, I don't have a right to enter into that group just because I want. When people put out their conversations, interviews, podcasts, or when I do it, for instance, I do it because I want to talk to those people and I just share them. My objective is not to have these conversations and getting as many people as I can involved. Some involvement is great, but that's not the ultimate goal. The goal is for me to have constructive, educating, interesting conversations with people I enjoy talking to, and if I get some interactions, that is great, but my aim is not to meet and involve as many people as possible. Now, if you want to be a part of that, then you have to make an effort to be a part of that, and maybe the only extent to which you are going to get involved in those conversations, or I am going to get involved in other people's conversations, is through interactions on the chats, if it's a live stream or something like that. But I cannot expect to say, hey, I'm here, I've got this channel, I want to be invited to your conversations. Like, admittedly, I've done that once. I sort of invited myself over to the Bookish Chats channel. I say, hey, why don't you invite me over for a chat? And he did, and it was great. But there is that thing about looking at other people, seeing that they're doing something cool and wanting to be in on that. Like, well, it's a little bit like, I think I've told this story before television in Spain, back in the 40s, back in the 50s, before everyone had a television, like, the entertainment was to go to a cafe and just go for a chat. Tertulias, it used to be called. My grandfather, he used to have his groups, different cafes, and you just go, sit down, chat to people, have coffee, right? But you had to be introduced into those circles. To be part of those chats, someone had to vouch for you. So, like, my grandfather was introduced to the chats by his older brother, who would vouch for him. And then the first few sessions, you just had to stand there or sit there and just listen in. And then slowly you work your way into those conversations, and then you become a valued member of that sort of chat sort of thing. And I guess podcasts, live streams are the modern day version of those cafe chats. You've got established group of people that are friends or internet friends, whatever you want to call them, that are having great conversations, and you're welcome to sit in and listen. And if you want to be a part of that, then you have to work your way into it. So in a sense, are there Booktube cliques? Yeah, for sure. Is it a natural part of the process? Yeah, I think it is, and it's not a negative thing. And I don't want to say there's an element of envy, jealousy of people wanting to be in and feeling left out, but I don't think it was ever meant to be all inclusive. Having said that, in every video that I make, I've got my Instagram and my email address posted for anyone that wants to get involved in the channel. When I've announced read-alongs, I've announced them for people to join in. And guess what? Hardly anyone ever does. No one does. When I did the read-alongs with Ian for Wheel of Time, and when we did Sanita series, we announced it. This is what we're going to do. Anyone that wants to join in, no one does. My email, does anyone ever get in touch? Very few people do. Some people do. They've been invited over to the channel for conversations. So I'm always open to talk to pretty much anyone that I find interesting or that I want to talk to. And that's all there is to it. So I think if you want something, whatever it may be, but in this case, if you want to be part of that sort of Booktube community, then you've got to put in a little bit of work. You cannot just sit there and complain and moan that you're going to be a part of a clique without, getting involved in different shapes or forms. So on that note, if you want to join a great community of like-minded people that enjoy fantasy, comics, movies, all that sort of thing, head over to the page turing.com forums. Steve has created a fantastic community online, and he does the podcast, and the channel's sort of fallen by the wayside, but there's great conversations and people with different podcasts, different channels that you can join in and be a part of if that's what you wish. So check it out. I'll leave a link in the description below. And that's all I have for today. So as usual, let me know your thoughts, your opinions, your comments and below. Like and subscribe if you haven't done so. Take loads and lots of care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.